Hello, everybody. Welcome back to yet another review of the haves and the have-nots. We got another episode under our belt, and there was some action going on this episode. So I thought it was a good episode. So let's start off right with the beginning. So we know Hannah heard what Mitch said last week, but right now she's trying to get some clarification on what she heard. Because you know how some people are, they know what they heard, but then they like to try to make the person they heard it from repeat it to see if they're going to repeat it, it's an older parent thing. And so Hannah is just really formidable with this. She's telling Mitch isn't repeating it at first, and she's like, shut up and tell me. And, Mitch finally just says, okay, my family is well connected. That's what they found out, that Jim McCrier was behind it. Hannah's like, So she gets angry and she storms out, and Benny's in the bed. He's like, oh, Mitch, you go stop her. And he's like, I can't do that. He says, your big ass can't. And I'm like, Benny, how's he supposed to stop her? No way Mitch was going to be able to stop Hannah. So Mitch helps Benny up, and then they go to follow Hannah. So let's get to David now. Yeah, I'm going to just talk about all I just want to talk about all this sort of like in one block, because Jeffrey got on my nerves. So David is on the phone asking someone to handle Justin immediately. He is just, his last straw is gone. There's nothing left of it. It is just like, his last straw burned up in that car. And so he gets that done, and then he wants to talk to Jeffrey. So Madison sends Jeffrey up to talk to David, and Jeffrey's like, he's still mad. He's mad at, did you tell him? Did you tell him? And Madison's like, yeah. And Jeffrey just gets on my nerves at this point. But anyway, so David asks Jeffrey, did he point a laser at you? And Jeffrey says yes. And he couldn't have lied anyway, because David said he's got all these cameras all around. And he saw it. And Jeffrey's so stupid, he says, well, Justin is harmless. And David said, okay, yeah, I'm going to make sure he is harmless. So Jeffrey's trying to get him not to harm Justin, but David's going to do what he wants. And so that's that. He tells Jeffrey, I want to be alone. Go on, get out. So Jeffrey goes back downstairs, and he tells Madison, you got 2 strikes left. You got 1 and you got 2 left. You know what, Jeffrey? You're not all that. And I don't know why Madison is trying to, get something going with someone who is so messed up. So later on, he has another conversation with Jeffrey, and Jeffrey's trying to be all silent and just being, for lack of a better word, he's being an ass. And Madison is trying to figure out, do you like him? No, you love him. And Jeffrey's not really answering. Didn't really answer that part. He says, yes, I like him when he's not crazy. I can handle him. And he's just being so rude to Madison, who is only trying to help him. Madison's like, I work in a hospital, so I see things like this every day. I see what can happen in situations like this. And so finally Madison leaves, and Jeffrey's like, don't slam my dad's door, bitch. like, that was Veronica right there. Veronica right there. And I said, so Jeffrey is a lot more like Veronica than he'd probably like to admit. So just really mean. Just really mean to Madison, who is only trying to help him. And granted, Madison does have his own agenda in trying to get Jeffrey to, back off of Justin. But still, I mean, he's only telling Jeffrey that he needs to back off Justin so he can be safe. Even though, he likes Jeffrey. I think he really is interested in Jeffrey being safe. So over at the bar, Justin's at the bar, but first RK tells Rocky that Veronica tried to burn him with grits. And so Justin, he's over there at the bar, and he asks for a drink, and he wants RK to get him a room. And RK says no. He wants RK to come up there to the room, and I'm like, Jeffrey, this is who you like. He's trying to force himself on men, and this is who you like. Anyway, so RK refuses. He's like, well, I'm going to tell everybody about what you do. I'm going to tell everybody. RK still refuses. So he gets up and he's like, is that your manager? Referring to Broderick. He gets up and goes over there and talks to Broderick. He tells him about his rap sheet. So Broderick and RK go in the back, and he's like, is this, he's like, okay, is, what's up with this? Is this? And so RK just tells what happened. But of course Broderick is all about money and keeping their operation from being exposed. So he's like, well, you need to make nice with him. And RK's like, no, I'm not gay. I don't do that. And so he goes back out there to, I guess he's trying to, he's trying to smooth things over with Justin, but he's still not going to do what Justin wants. So, and then the other crazy person shows up. Veronica shows up, and she starts taunting Justin. She's sitting there and she's like posing, you like, and she's all, you wouldn't know I like this. And as crazy as she is, she gets some of the best one-liners. So, and RK is caught between two people who have assaulted him, albeit in different ways. And Veronica wants him to get her some coffee, and he's like, no. So, and he's just being really standoffish here. So finally, he, let's see. So finally, Veronica has a conversation with Justin. She's telling him, well, I saw your wife in court. She was holding her head down. She was really sad. And I said, and I said to her, well, don't hold your head down. You're not the first woman to be duped by a flaming homosexual. So Veronica's really pushing buttons here. She's really, really pushing these buttons. So RK, so RK ends up back over there, and Veronica is saying, I heard that you're about to be brought up on charges of assault. And RK is like, is that right? Well, he did the same thing to me. And Veronica's putting the pieces together. Is that how you got Jeffrey? Did you feel him up? And I'm like, that's exactly how he got Jeffrey. Which makes Jeffrey's relationship with him really sick, because he's a cop that was assaulting him, and then it's like, okay, then now I like you. And just messed up. So, let's see. So Justin finally gets out there, and Veronica's like, "Walk, Miss Honey, walk, bitch, walk." And she's doing absolutely the most. And for somebody who doesn't like gay people, Veronica sure knows how to. She sure knows, she sure knows how to, use gay terminology and all that, and she seems to know a lot about that. So RK is still on the hook. So Veronica has some officers there, undercover officers there, to arrest him for stealing her jewelry. He keeps denying it. He denies it until she says, "Well, I have cameras. You think I'm gonna let you in my house without having cameras?" He's like, okay. It's in the pawn shop. And she said, "You need to go get my stuff, get my things. Now, I'm at work." But she don't care. She says, "You need to go get it now." So he tries to get out. He tries to talk to Broderick, but Broderick's like, "Not now, not now." So, no, I'm not sure where he went, if he just left or what but anyway, so Catherine arrives, and that's why Broderick did not want to be bothered with RK at the moment. So she arrives, and she asks about Rocky, and I'm like, "Catherine, you're doing the most right now, and really thirsty, like you've never had any sort of physical contact with anybody before." But I guess she's just decided to do what Jim has been doing for years and do it her way. So she sees Veronica at a table. She's like, "What is she doing here?" So she goes over, and they strike up a conversation, and she says, she asks Veronica why she's there, and because I'm not sure if Veronica knows she's at the owns the hotel, because Veronica's like, "What are you doing here?" And Catherine says, "I own it." But Veronica says, "Well, I know why you're here. You are," and it's that young man, and she says something about being a cougar or something like that. I couldn't quite hear. And so then Catherine calls Veronica on the FBI investigating what happened to David. And so after that, Veronica's like ready to leave, and Catherine also called her on, "Okay, well, I don't have mortgages, I don't have debt, I don't have any of that." And so she's calling Veronica out on her stuff, and then Veronica's ready to leave. She shakes Catherine's hand, and she's out. And Catherine was trying to get upstairs to get her, get it on with Broderick. And the Secret Service stops her. "Wait." And she said, "What do you mean, wait?" And then it's like, the president is here. And then Catherine's like, "Oh, then I guess I would." And she's like, "Why didn't I know he was here?" And I'm like, "Okay, I guess because you were not paying attention to the news or anything, Catherine. You didn't know he was there." Because most people who pay at least a bit of attention to what's going on in the world, know when the president is in their town. And for someone owning a hotel, they should know if the president is coming to their hotel, because there's all sorts of protocol that has to be met. They have to sweep the place for bugs and all sorts of other things. So why Catherine did not know this as the owner, I don't know. She's too busy trying to have threesomes, I guess. So, and then she asks Broderick, "Did you provide Charles with any services?" And he's like, "No, I didn't." And she's like, I didn't vote for the little bastard. I was with her." Which is obviously a reference to Hillary Clinton. So, so Charles and Landon. not much was going on here. So Charles asked Landon how his jaw was, and he looked at it and he's like, not too bad. And Landon says, nothing a little makeup won't cover. And Charles like, you wear makeup. And so Charles starts bringing up the situation again that he punched Landon over. And he says, why didn't you tell me you were gay? And I'm like, okay, I don't think he really needed to offer that information. Then he asks, are you attracted to me? And I was like, yes, I am attracted to you. I think you're an attractive man. And he's like, well, you know I'm not interested at all. And Landon's like, yes. And so that, I guess that's it for that. They're not going to worry about that anymore because Landon is a good worker and he wants to keep him on. And so Landon's like, can I speak freely? And Charles is like, you're really going to ask that after what you tried to do? And he's like, no, I know you really like Candace. When she's around you, you're a lot less mean. So let me work on her. And Charles is like, you can't make her be something that she's not, doesn't want to be. And he's like, no, just let me try. And so Landon's trying to redeem himself for what? For just trying to violate the President of the United States. So, and the only way he can actually really wipe that off his record is to get Candace back into Charles's universe. What am I going? Okay. We talked about that. So, Wyatt, he's being interrogated at the police station. He's saying, I didn't do anything. Sarah planted that on me. And so George is just like, George doesn't really care. He's not giving a care. He's like, they're just gonna hold Wyatt. And Wyatt is just like, Wyatt is terrified. He's like, well, is that guy that tried to kill me, is he still in jail? And George is like, I don't know. There's a lot of guys in jail. So finally George just leaves, and of course Jim is out there in the waiting area and he's making all sorts of demands. I want to see my son. I'm his lawyer. And George is like, he has rejected you as counsel. Jim doesn't want to believe it, and George just stands up to him. He says, George, Jim is telling me, I think he said call the Attorney General or something, and George is like, who's going to take your call? Who's going to, because Jim's stature in town really plummeted from a few seasons ago after, Celine revealed the truth about him. His name has been like mud. Like, he can't pull that many strings anymore. So, let's get back to Hanna. So she arrives at Catherine's house and she's getting all sorts of attitude with the maid. She's like, is Jim here? Is Catherine here? No, they're not. And the maid's like, I've been trying to get this stain out. And like, that's not my problem. I don't work here anymore. I'm going to sit here and wait. And she was talking rough to the maid. And next Candace arrives. And Hannah's like, what are you doing here? Don't you sit on that woman's couch. And Candace just like sat down like I should, like, what are you gonna do? I just sat on the couch. And she of course she tells Hanna, why I'm here is none of your business. But they're both here for the same reason, because of Benny. And Candace was dressed to fight, so very sort of an athletic sort of an athletic look, like, okay, I need to be able to move in my clothing right now. So they're sitting in different rooms. The maid calls Jim. Hannah's here, and another rude woman is here who is her daughter, and he tells her, okay, serve them tea and I'll be there. And as we see in the preview, Hanna has got something for Jim, and it's about time. So, at the end, Justin gets tore up. A delivery man brings him flowers, and it says it's supposed to be from Jeffrey. So he takes them, and he is so, enamored, I would say, with the thought that these are from Jeffrey, that he's looking at the flowers. He turns his back. He can't hear that the guy came in, shut the door, and he turns around. There's a bunch of other guys, and he was getting in some punches and all of that, but there were three of them, and 3 against 1 is clearly not a fair fight. But Justin got bruised up real bad. But this is not going to make Justin stay away from Jeffrey, and Jeffrey's just going to be feel bad for him and gravitate towards him even more. That was the episode. So I thought it was a good episode. There was action. It's always a good thing when there's some action. And looks like things are gonna get moving next week. Because Hanna is not playing with Jim right now. You don't try to kill one of her kids and get away with it. So, as always, like and subscribe, and if you want to, leave a comment below, and I will see you for the next episode. Bye.